Good morning, everybody. It is just a little before 9 a.m. here in Colorado. I do have another meeting shortly, so I wanted to come in just a tad bit early to do our picking of our life principle card today. One of the things that I realized that I probably haven't done all that well yet is to explain the why. Why is it important to wake up? Why this notion of waking up will assist us in our lives. See, what I see so often is people have siloed things in their lives. So there's the spiritual life and then there's the other life. And we tend to silo that separate from each other. You know, it's like here I'm doing my life, my kids, my partner, my work and all that. And then when I have time, I'll do some spiritual work. And one of the things that I have found so essential on this journey that I've been on and that I've watched others be on is to understand that we need to weave them together, that spirituality is not a separate thing. Spirituality is waking up in our lives. So one of the things is the question of why. Why is it so important to wake up? And so I want to just ask a couple of questions. You know, when you wake up in the morning, that first moment of waking up, are you in joy, in gratitude and appreciation, or does the dream world have come in, bleed in to your waking up moments, and it's about worry, it's about stress, there's a tightness? I mean, that used to be the case for me. I would wake up and my dreams were not nightmares, but there was a heaviness to them, and it took me a while every morning to shift out of that. The idea of going right into gratitude and appreciation, it was out of the question for me. And with this work, with the starting to understand what's pulling our strings and looking not just at the surface of things, but what is underneath it, I've been able to get myself to a place where I wake up now at least neutral, if not already open. And then, because I know that those first 15 minutes are absolutely essential for how the rest of my day is going to go, I immediately go into my practices of grounding, opening, relaxing, and shifting into appreciation and gratitude. And that will inform the rest of your day. And then, you know, how are you doing during the rest of your day? Are you in worry, in stress, in anxiety at some point during the day? Do you know when you go into stress and anxiety? I mean, you look at the statistics, and I mean, stress is up in the world, depression is up in the world, anxiety is up in the world, and in some way, I believe we have normalized those negative emotions. Somehow, one of my pet peeve expressions is, that's just human nature. Negative emotions, going into anger, being irritated, being judgmental, somehow we have made that's just human nature. And I call BS on that. Negative emotions are not human nature. The problem is we don't understand what negative emotions are, why they were created, how they function, and how you can step out of it. See, we make a distinction between emotions and feelings. Feelings is who you are. Feelings is electrical. Feelings is the state of passion and joy and gratitude and appreciation. Emotions, and we'll call it negative emotions, those are chemical. They're a chemical reaction in your body triggered by something that is not who you are. And there is one of our principles is called check egos, and I'm hoping that at some point we will pick that together to explain a little bit more of what causes those negative emotions. But here's the empowering thing. If you understand what is triggering you and what it actually is, then you can take the steps to step out of those negative emotions, to make the choice. Rather than being victim to being your negative emotions, you actually choose to step out of them. And so to me, you know, that's about waking up. That is the full why of waking up. I don't want to be beholden to all the things that are causing me to be in states of being that I don't want to be in. That is empowerment. That is understanding who we truly are, the field of possibilities of who we can become, and saying, I am going to take the steps to understand what it is that is pulling my strings, and I am going to choose to step out of it one step at a time, one liberation at a time. That's why I do this work, and that's why I want to share with you over these next, through the end of December, how powerful it can be when you have a framework to do that. When you have the framework and the practices and the tools, nothing fluffy bunny here at all. We are precise, we are exact. The tools and practices give all the understandings, and then you get your own evidence. You don't have to believe anything I say. Get your own evidence. At least give yourself that. So that's why we do this work, and why it's been so powerful to I have this expression, subtle changes, quantum leaps. Sometimes the changes are very, very subtle, but then all of a sudden there is a 180-degree understanding change, perceptual change, and all of a sudden reality looks different, which is why you'll also hear me say regularly, perception is your only power tool. And again, get your own evidence on that, and we will be hopefully practicing that. Anyway, so I have the card set here, so I'm going to shuffle it, and let's see. So just tune in right now. Just let yourself just get quiet for a moment and tune in, connect with me, and let the question be there. What life principle, what understanding would assist me today in making my next awakening step? Okay, so here we go. Nope, I keep showing them to you, and then I know what the cards are, so I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay, here we go. All right, what card? Open, curious innocence. Love this one. What wants to be said about that? So there is a state of being that I have found to be challenging to be around, and that is the state of being of the skeptic. And I know that there is a belief that skepticism somehow is more advanced, it is more what would we call it? It's more learned. It's more. There's something about the skeptic that we have put on a higher pedestal. So, we've juxtaposed the skeptic against naivete, and therefore we've elevated the skeptic to a higher level. But what I have found is that skepticism actually is an incredibly closed state of being. It basically has put up armor and said, prove to me that you are right. And it's not, there is nothing soft about it. There is nothing curious about it. It just has put up walls and said, prove to me that this is right. And what I have found is that along with the doubt ego, keeps you from experiencing life. It keeps you from experiencing magical stuff and the mystery letting itself open up. And so open curiosity, open curious innocence is such a powerful state of being. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to be, the opposite of skepticism is not naivete. It's not just falling over and saying yes to everything, buying everything hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely not. The opposite of the skeptic is open, curious innocence. It is so open. It's opening up to the possibilities of what wants to show itself to you in this moment, versus being closed off and having anything that comes at you just bounce off of you because, well, you're a skeptic and you have to prove it to me. No, there's an openness, actually, being awake, 100% awake. If we gave a scale to awake, 0 to 100, 100% would be awake, would be 100% open. Just let yourself feel that for a moment. Rather than closing down, we've been so trained to close down, to protect ourselves, to feel safe by closing down. But what does that do? It puts body armor up. It causes stress in the body. It causes us to worry. That's not the state of being we want to be in. When you can open up, open yourself up to what shows up, that is a far more powerful state of being. And then let yourself be curious. What is going to be around the next corner? Curiosity is such an enlivening state of being. You know, on the first day, I talked a little bit about fear, and Crystal quoted one of the things I said, which is, we don't need fear to feel alive, right? We use fear and the coursing of adrenaline through our body to feel alive. But what can we replace it with? Well, one of them is curiosity. One of them is that feeling of being so fascinated by everything around you. And then letting knowingness be your guide, whether you choose to let it in or not. You don't have to take everything hook, line, and sinker. Let your knowingness, not your body armor, choose what you experience and what not. Can you feel how much more empowering that state of being would be, rather than blocking everything off? And then the third element of this principle is innocence. Now again, we have likened innocence to naivete, to being unsafe, to being taken advantage of. But when you truly can feel innocence, the state of innocence is the most powerful state of being you can be in. You can't go anywhere in the universe without innocence. And the best metaphor, which has been used a lot, but the best metaphor is that of water. If water were innocence, water flows around obstacles. Water dissolves that which is rigid. It may take time, over time, but it dissolves rigidness. So, you know, just imagine somebody is in front of you and they're angry at you. What do we normally do when somebody's angry at us? We shut down, we block off, we become defensive, we put up all of our barbs just to block off that energy of anger. What if instead you stepped into total innocence? You saw them for the miracle that they are. They're a human being. That alone is a miracle. The fact that they're waking up, even slightly is a miracle. When you can see that rather than the angry adult, and you basically step into the innocent of like, neither, I see you, I see what's behind there. You don't need to put up the body anger, body armor. You don't go into contraction around it. You stay in your beauty. You don't let that other person choose for you what state of being you're in. And then you just dissolve what's coming at you with your innocence. And you're curious and you're open. It is far more powerful state of being than blocking things off, being contracted, putting up body armor, which causes all kinds of body issues to begin with. So today, your practice is anytime you feel yourself contracting into worry, contracting into stress, contracting in response to something that is coming from you, from the external environment, external, I'm putting that in quotation marks, something that's coming at you, instead of closing down and contracting, I want you to practice to open. Just to open. Let's practice that today. Let yourself just open up your heart, open up your biofield, which is basically this electrical matrix that is part of your body. Just let that open up, open. And get your own evidence. See how your day goes when instead of closing and contracting, you are open. Open your brain, open your throat, open your heart, open your belly, your solar plexus. That's your practice for today. Open. And then let curiosity come in if you feel like you can do that. And maybe even test innocence. But let's just practice opening rather than closing. That's going to make a huge difference. So there you have it. That's our session for today. Day 3. This is, I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I hope so. With that, I wish you a magnificent, open, curious, innocent rest of the day. And I would love to hear what happens for you guys when you practice these. You know, when you let yourself just drop into that. So with that, I say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Mountain time, same place. See you then. Bye.